Good morning. It's Monday, March 4th, about 6 a.m. Central Time. All right, the precious metals are taking a small breather after Friday's record closing highs on the gold market. Looking at April gold, it's trading down $4.80 at 20.90. May silver's down 2 cents at 23.34. May copper up 1 at 3.87. April platinum up 8 at 896, and then that June palladium up 5 at 967. The gold silver ratio is at about 89.5, so no real big move despite that record closing high on the gold market. And the thing about record closing highs, really my thoughts on it are I don't acknowledge that as a term to use because of the fact what it does is it'll create a false pretense in your head, like it's at all-time highs. I can't buy it here. It's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. The reality is if you look at the S&P 500 after closing at all-time record highs, what happened? It went on and it made 15 more all-time highs. So the people that are going to come out and say that gold's at all-time highs, I can't buy it here, just get rid of that thought process. Go with, hey, gold went up $45 on Friday. Where's the next $45 going to be? Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be lower? What are the key levels that I should be watching on the gold market? For me, I think 2077, that's a bit of a line in the sand. That would be about a 50% retracement from the breakout there. Where would be your next logical level? 2050. We close below 2050, chances are we could trend lower down to about 2030, down to the 200-day moving average at 2023. So just look at all these different things as structurally where are we at, what's the next $20 move in gold or silver, or whatever you're looking at, whatever commodity it is, and what are the different catalysts that can get us to these different levels. So you look at Bitcoin here, it isn't quite a record close, but we're close. It topped $65,000 overnight, and as more and more Wall Street firms continue to adopt the BlackRock and the Fidelity ETFs and adopt that into their wealth management process, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies should start to track higher. You've got a 6% move in the last 24 hours. You got a 27% move on the previous week. So looking at these markets here, really, I believe that the catalyst to get things going on the gold market on Friday is the weaker dollar index. Remember on October 3rd when the dollar index had peaked, that's when stocks had bottomed. And you'll see this inverse relationship with a lot of different commodities out there. Now, something that people weren't really talking about was the New York City Bank Corp. It was downgraded again. The stock fell about 25% on Friday. And I believe that a regional bank crisis could expedite the Fed's cutting cycle and pull it forward and push prices higher. Now, we're not seeing much ETF inflows, perhaps a bit on the tailwind on the gold market on Friday, but the thing is that these participants just aren't really there. And I really think that you need the ETF flows in order to get gold onto a sustainable, all-time closing basis. And that's what you're seeing, those types of flows in the cryptocurrencies, in the NASDAQ, in the QQQs, in the different ETFs that surround themselves with tech like XLK. So some other news that happened over the weekend, we did see OPEC, they agreed to extend their production cuts. I was really surprised. That was kind of the thing that I was most interested in seeing on the opening on the Sunday night open was could oil prices gap higher? And the fact that they didn't, perhaps that participants were looking to see that those extended oil production cuts would go out past June and throughout the end of the year. So with oil prices up this high, maybe they'll think that they'll discontinue those cuts around June and they'll start to cheat a bit, and we could have seen a near-term top on the oil market here. So getting back into gold, the expectations for a June interest rate cut are 72% chance. So the ECB, they're expected to cut rates in April. The Bank of England are expected to cut in June. And there's a number of other countries out there that are also expected to all cut rates. Now looking out this week here, kind of the big highlights on the week, not diving into every little economic data point because these little twists and turns are really what move a lot of these markets. You really got to look out to Friday's non-farm payroll. The previous non-farm payroll report was 353,000. The expectations for this one are 190,000. I think anywhere below 200,000 will be quite supportive to the precious metals markets. Also, we'll have Jerome Powell. He'll speak twice. He's going to testify on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see what happens there. If he does pivot dovish, that could extend the gains on the gold market. Now, silver, again, 23.33. Not really a lot of action. It was up 50 cents, but we've been trading it fairly actively with the clients in the 22 handles, buying and selling these little dips and rips and things like that. And I think that unless you get kind of this breakout on silver above 23.50, again above 24.02, 24.03, then I think you're going to clear the path for higher prices. But really, those higher prices are probably capped at $25 or $26 at this particular time. Now, if you get any questions on futures option trading, give me a call, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures and option trading does involve risk of loss. May not be suitable to all investors. Good luck and good trading.